Awesome.
Oh, that's a fancy move.
I know,
My
I stretched it up a
gosh.
little bit, you know, I thought that maybe we should, have a little, you know, just mix it up a little bit. I thought we'd mix it up a little bit. Come on in. Heather.
I had to get lots.
There were three. So you're one of three. 33. Hello. Hey, how are you? I like your killer red.
She looks like trouble.
She does. She's got it going on today. We got a few people that are trickling in, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll kick it off. We've done this, so we'll kick it off with Ron. Thank you.
We talk about it takes more than talent. And this is about one of my favorite characters in history, who's Mr. Churchill. And a lot of great things you can learn from him. That was from Jesse.
I tell him he disappears. I'll tell you when this is crazy.
When Winston Churchill was 16 years old, he was asked what he thought his future held. And his amazing response was, I can see vast changes coming over a now peaceful world. Great upheavals, terrible struggles, wars such as one cannot imagine. And this was before either World War I or World War II. He said, London will be in danger. London will be attacked, and I shall be very prominent in the defense of London. In the high position I shall occupy, it will fall upon me to save the capital, to save the empire. This is a 16-year-old boy.
Wow.
That's a real,
That's a dream.
yeah, that's life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And he hit it on the head there, didn't he? By the time World War II had started, Churchill had developed great courage through military and political experience. He had survived several near-death experiences. When Hitler had overrun Europe, only the British and Churchill stood against him. When elected prime minister, Churchill made this promise to the British: we shall fight whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. Of course, war has a way of emerging leadership. But in our own lives, our courage is tested whenever change is needed. When our convictions are challenged, when our weaknesses are exposed, when we choose to take the high road, whenever we face obstacles to our own progress. So our courage is tested seemingly in smaller ways, but significant ways to our life. Courage simply means my convictions are stronger than my fears. My vision is clearer than my doubts. My spiritual sensitivity is stronger than public opinion. My self-esteem is deeper than my self-protection. My appreciation for discipline is stronger than my desire for leadership. My dissatisfaction is more forceful than the status quo. My pose is more unshakable than panic. My risk-taking is stronger than my safety-seeking. My right actions are more robust than rationalization. My desire to reach my potential is greater than people pleasing. I would say if you got 6 or 7 out of those 10, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Great quote here. A great deal of talent is lost to the world for want of a little courage.
All right, I didn't put a quote up here today because I had one here. Striving for success without hard work is like trying to harvest where you haven't planted. Reminders MRA Book Club is every Monday at 12. We had a good one yesterday. I felt like we got some accountability going on. We're working on some our lead generation model. Dee came in here and kicked it into high gear. We're going to be tracking the leads. I told them this morning that I'm really excited about watching where I know the three of them are kind of Heather and Sandra and Dee have kind of taken on some accountability and partnership with each other, and they're trying to keep each other in check. So I'm really excited to watch them take off. So, Tech Ambassador position is still open. Pre-licensing classes begin on July 19th. I know several of you have sent me people. Nancy, the girl, Lauren is coming in to see me on Thursday. We've got several people. We need to have at least 5 people sign up so that we can actually have the class. I think we should be fine on that. But just to make sure, if you know of anybody, I've shared it on the Keller Williams Points East page. If y'all could go on and share it on your pages, that would be awesome. Just so more people will see it. The more people that see it, the better chance we have of getting the class full. I mean, we need at least 5, but we'd like to have more, of course. So,
Look on Craigslist.
Yeah, I don't know how to post all that stuff, so I'm gonna have to get some help with that.
Well, I'm no expert and I can't help it. But I do know that if advertising for agents on Craigslist brought instantly.
Sure.
So this might
Get some people in. And then Ignite resumes next week. So that's where that's announcements. Webinars, here we go. Coming up.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Whatever.
Internet lead generation. This is like a several part series that they're doing. So this is session 2, but I think it would be really good. If you're trying to get your internet presence out there, you're trying to up that. This is definitely where you need to go. These are at 3 o'clock. When you go on the website, just a reminder, it says 2 o'clock at that Central Time. Just as a reminder. So you'll see it, and I don't want you to panic and think that it's the wrong time. It is at 3 o'clock. And then on the 10th is your mobile hour presentation. This one is today. So if you're working on your lead generation model, as I know you all are, right? Then I would definitely recommend that you hop on that session.
Now, is that July 8th? Is that through KW or?
It is. It's on KW. Got some awards. All right. Top listing team for June 2014. Joiner Silk. I don't know if they're on, but if you are, congratulations. Top sales team, Joiner Silk as well. All right. Top listing agent, Miss Dee Dee. Top sales agent, Miss Lori. And let's see, quarter cap status, Miss Lori St. Also quarter cap status, Miss Royland Hogger. I'm showing here, that you'll watch later. Quarter cap status, Dee Dee. Get that quarter cap. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. And then let's see here. Half cap status, Miss Nancy Lynn. How about you?
Burning it up.
And 3/4 cap status. I don't know if she's on or not, but Miss Betty Norman. Almost there. That's right. Good job, y'all. Okay, month to date. It is early in the month. There are some, I know that Lisa said that there's some that are missing, we're missing green sheets, so some of these numbers are probably a little skewed because you people haven't turned your stuff in. So listings taken 4 at 1,347,000. Contracts written 1. I know there's more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And closed volume 3 at 457,750. So if you have green sheets that need to be submitted, please go ahead and get that done. Closings month to date. Jesse and Linda have 2. Dee has 1. Shaquila has 1. Listed month to date. Hardy Rock has 2. Linda has 1, and Heather has 1.
Way to go.
I always like the way that looks better later on. New listing. Let's take a look. Okay. Who's this? This is Linda. Does anybody know anything about this one?
Just for a second, 44.
We'll just take a look. We'll sort it. We'll make all the decisions about it. All right. No, it's the house. It's the house. Got a little carport. That's right. Check it out. Look what I've got. Oh, good. We clap for you, but you get 2 rounds of applause. You get to hear the first bit. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's a little house in Farmville. 925 square feet.
3 bedroom, 47.
Yeah,
What's that happening?
yeah. So it's a nice size lot.
51.
All right.
What year was it built?
71.
It's so good. I mean, it looks good.
It's pretty shadow.
It's,
Is that it?
Okay. That's
Right.
That's the best sign.
That means it's that shingle shape.
Yeah. It's fine as long as you don't disturb it. It's dirty.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just don't touch it.
No lights, but, no lights, but-
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, we do.
Sure. will. And then some.
Alright.
Remain left on vines.
Yeah. There. All right. What's next? This is Hardy Rock. I think this one is. Yeah, this one's Hardy Rock. I didn't knew anything about it. We can take a look. Yes, we got plenty of pictures to take a look at.
Am I losing?
How much was that?
150.
That's a cute house.
yeah.
It's cute.
Is that in the city limits or is that the part that's not?
It's in
No,
that,
it's
it's in that
not.
Woodbridge, it's right off of,
But see, but both of them are on both sides and one is and one is not.
It looks like it isn't.
it's
It says
a house
no.
on that same street.
The one on Thomas Langston's side, Thomas Langston's side is the other side.
That's right. The one on the, if you're going down Gavin, it's on the left, it's not left.
Gotcha. Yeah, right.
Says city
That has
shore and
said
city.
no.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
I think it's the ETJ,
I think so too.
so that gets taxed.
A dollar.
Yeah, that's big.
That's what ETJ means.
Look at the taxes in the property.
That's what
They look-
ETJ
they
is.
look like
It's out of the city limits, but you have all the city services that charge.
That's true.
Who's doing Alan's, pictures now? I think he
I think
is.
I think
is.
he's still on.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, that's a lot better. People put
put the toilet seat down and take a picture.
That's a woman thing.
I didn't even notice that.
That is a big
That's
garage.
so nice.
All right. Let's clear what's next on the agenda. Oh, River Road. This is that gigantor house that is big.
Oh my goodness.
So
It's a
question on that one real quick.
Uh-huh.
That one was sold as foreclosure.
I know.
And then now Alan's got it listed. I got a call from another agent that's a friend of mine that dates the guy that lost the house. And she wanted to know what's going on. And I was like, I don't know.
They put a
Very good
pool in
question.
and did some
He's done some-
updating
So
landscape.
basically it's flipping it.
It's like-
Yeah.
Yep. So,
It's a beautiful house.
525.
With the comps out there still there?
Beautiful.
I mean, out there where it's at.
Right.
It's a fabulous house.
It is.
It's a beautiful house.
They staged it down.
I got a call about it yesterday.
Sell it some.
Oh, no, of the people, the guy's mother.
They live beside it.
Right,
Yeah.
Well, they should know.
yeah, evidently, right now, Bill, the guy that owns it, is using the water line, their water line, so whoever buys this place for their own water line.
Yeah. See, they built that house to live beside his parents.
And then Nancy divorced.
And then a very nasty divorce. And
That happens.
Swimming pool, lake.
So they put the pool in, and is that what you said?
yeah, I don't know about that
Pretty.
lake. I mean, whether that's.
Did they put that pool in?
That's what,
That's what somebody said.
When I saw it, because I went out and looked at it, I thought, I don't remember that swimming
No, they added that.
pool. Okay. Okay.
Build it like it was worth something.
Somebody else.
Evidently.
That's not gonna work.
I would cut off. I think they would have to do that. I would have that line in a minute. You won't be flushing your toilet.
Well, you're spirit.
I don't know. I'm kind of like Dee Dee. I'm kind of confused. If you're gonna flip a house,
Probably put some for
why
Yeah.
would you
Because
flip
it
it?
doesn't have value.
Some.
Oh, yeah. Next.
How much did they buy it for? Such a history.
You hit the history on that, Jennifer.
Where's that?
Up at the top.
Right at the top, very top.
It's the clock.
The clock,
To the left.
right there.
Yeah. But see, Lori, he had it listed for foreclosure, and did nothing to get it sold.
Then say,
So that's interesting.
seemed like it was like $3.99 or something.
Yeah, and I don't remember what Lori had it listed for before that.
Saturday.
You never know.
That's on an expensive price tag per square foot, when you look at that. 39.
And then we actually have the person here.
I don't have the interior pictures because they had to be completely reshot. So it's just exterior. It's in Ironwood. It sits on the first fairway. It's a custom built by John Paul Corey. Won first place in the Parade Homes when it was built in 2008 for architecture. The outside was designed so it's minimal upkeep, and it has 6 different outside rooms, and it's all flowering bushes and trees, but it's real. I mean, the upkeep is minimal. And then the back has got a big, huge screen porch with an 8-in with a grill and a refrigerator.
This, we saw this house.
It's been on
Back in
the
it was
kitchen
It
tour
was on the kitchen tour.
and the Christmas home tour. And the downstairs is a real big open floor plan, and the master is downstairs and has his or her walk-in closets Then it has another guest room with a bathroom, and then an office that could be made into a bedroom, and another full bath. And then the upstairs has got a bedroom and bath, and then a big open area. That the owner is an artist, so it's his artist studio, but you could use it as like a rec room or some other kind of
It's a cool space.
Yeah.
This porch is an awesome space.
I'm going to do a broker's open house there in a couple of weeks, so I'll send out invitations for that.
Who's taking your pictures?
Okay, so I had a new photographer, and she did great on the exterior, but the interior, she's just not used to doing that. So I actually, Jason Mills from ASAP is going to retake them first thing tomorrow morning, and we'll see. I have done like major research looking for other photographers. I have not, but I know him, and he is an amazing photographer. And then there's another guy by the name of Thomas Grimes, who I've been given his name by like 3 people, and I think he does all Liz Freeman's pictures. And he also has like he does weddings and stuff, and he works for Evolve, but just does the photography on the side. So he was, you know, I've seen his pictures and they're really good. So I'm just trying to figure.
Reasonable or
Yeah, pretty reasonable. I'm just trying to figure out who's the
best, most cost-effective solution. Well, let's everybody just kind of keep each other posted. If you find somebody, you know, I know that everybody's kind of in the market and looking for that right now. So if you find somebody good, definitely
Well,
share
let me
it.
say this, Ryan still will come down and do photos for everybody and do the YouTube videos. He just has to do it on Saturday. It has to be planned. If we get a bunch of houses at one time, I mean, he will come down and do it. So I plan to still try to use Ryan because he did such a good job for us.
His pictures are good.
And he does the YouTube
And he's
videos.
expensive.
And he's not expensive at all. So I'd rather, that's just me personally, but he can't just come tomorrow. It's got to be scheduled. So.
But that's good. I mean, that's good though. I mean, good advice too. If everybody kind of, especially if y'all can kind of stack him up, if y'all knew he was coming, and y'all can kind of make some plans. So just keep that in mind too. And if you know he's coming on a weekend to do it, like if you happen to contact him and you know he's coming, you might want to just kind of let other people know and say, hey, he's coming. You might want to call him and see if.
I mean, he said he would come for like multiple ages. Like there's like a bunch of houses to do it one day. He would come down and do them all in one day.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
if you know that you need him or you want to try to schedule him, maybe just kind of make an announcement and see if there's anybody else who needs it. Cool. Good stuff. Anything else you want to tell us about this one?
It's just a really pretty house.
Yeah.
It's just a really pretty. I agree. All right. Contracts, Richard? You do?
Yes.
Okay.
2300 Wolf Trap Road.
2300. What?
Wolf Trap.
2 words?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. 37.4. It's a lot that's in market. And it's with Sandra.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good stuff. How about Belinda?
2205 Loxley Woods Drive. And guys, that's been on the market less than 2 weeks.
Wow.
So that's wonderful. And that was 949. And it was cross. Here's the bonus.
What did you say the price on the
949. That is with John.
Well, here's what has
okay, well, free to find a house in Loxley Woods. What do you? Yes, Bowen has one.
Yay.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I know. I went to the Crown one today. I was all excited about it. Exactly.
He's
36800. What? 366? 800. I'm sorry. 636. Okay. Apparently, this is not my good ear today.
BJ. Jay.
I was like, well, I didn't just have a moment. I'm like, what was the? Okay.
I think it was 134.9.
That you're, yeah.
Because
He was.
I think that's
Like
what
summertime, you can make it rain.
3304. See. Mulberry Lane.
What was the?
And then I have 206 Iron Creek Drive, but I don't know what this is.
Okay. Iron Creek.
Does it ring a bell with anyone?
Anybody know?
I'll take it. Was it for the winter silk or something like that?
I think we went in Washington. No, I think it's
Is it
Shallot.
Shallot?
Yeah, Shallot. Shallot, yeah, that's right.
We don't know the, we don't know those questions.
That's good.
And we already put your Clarksville Drive up, right, Nancy? Last time, did we, I think we did.
Okay.
Did we? Hold on. Yeah, we did. It's on, it was the last round.
Okay.
I think
that's one.
Only ones I
I have
have.
one more. Okay.
1308 Church Street.
Church Street. Okay.
And it's 229.
Good, thanks.
Is that you and you?
It is.
That's your name.
And I just want y'all to know that this house is on the market for just over 2 years with another.
Nancy.
Oh.
And they showed it maybe one time every 2 years.
Wow.
I showed it probably 15 times in the first few weeks.
Wow.
I've had it for about 6 weeks.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
I got another one.
Okay.
2907 Cedar Creek. Yeah. Me and me.
Good, Sandra.
55. 55. Great.
Nice. Any others?
I do have one more.
Okay.
It is 306 North Front Street. And it's 64.9.
Nancy, I'm not sure, have you been listing agent or finding?
So,
Both?
On Church Street I am, but on this other one I'm the buyer agent.
Okay. All right. This is awesome. Thank y'all.
Pretty good one, that.
How many of those do you have?
How many green sheets do I
Okay, this, yeah.
it should be there in the day.
Yeah.
All right. I have the next little thing says Cap Companies and Movement Mortgage. I just kind of have that in there in case one of them is gonna speak. But Karen is gonna be here today, but she said she was a little funny, but she had an injection in her back yesterday. So we will go ahead to our profit share moment, and you notice I put moments with Ellen.
Well, we got so many opportunities right now to refer agents to our team leader. And we're going to talk about some of those today. Yes, these out for me. I think I got enough for everybody. Well, I do.
I got it. You better go.
Okay. Hurry up. No, okay. So what we're going to do today, I wanted to ask, I had some questions about this. What are the 3 R's that lead to profit share?
Refer,
3 R's. relate,
Relationship.
relate, and what's next? Refer, and what? Recruit. But today we're going to talk about relating. And you can build a very successful business by working smarter, not harder. What would your life look like if you could work smarter, not harder? What would that look like?
It'd be better.
Look smarter.
Yeah.
Less hours, great. What else?
More money.
More money. What else?
Freedom.
Freedom. Very good. Very good. I'm not saying that other companies can't have agents that do this, have 100% certainty that it will continue for years to come. I'm not going to say that. But in our company, we have the opportunity to make ours be a certainty for years to come. And how do we do that? By sharing. So that's what we're going to talk to about today, is sharing it. I know y'all know Zig Ziglar. He's got a lot of good words to say about sharing. And it sort of relates to what I'm talking about. Well, it does relate to what I'm talking about today. When you help others, who do you help? Yeah, help yourself. And this is a little story he's got in here about a hiker who went on a mountain trail and he got lost. And he was trying to get his way out, and his feet started getting numb and his hands started getting numb, and he was still trying to get out. And he stumbled across another hiker who was already on the ground, just about frozen. And he had a decision to make. He could go on and try to save himself, or he could take time and help and see if he could help this guy on the ground. Well, that was a split-second decision. He said, I'm going to help him. So he threw off his gloves and he started rubbing the guy's feet and his hands, and the guy responded. But the beautiful part of that is, because he gave his time and effort to that hiker on the ground, guess what? His activity with him, trying to get him going, made his hands not be numb anymore. So they supported each other on down the mountain and found their way out. But that's the point of what I want to talk about today, is relating to other agents. And we talk about relating. When you start a contract with somebody, is that when you start relating to them? When you start a contract? When you say? Sure. Definitely. Okay. Do you ever have disagreements with other agents while working on a contract?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. How do you react when you have a disagreement with another agent in a contract? What is your reaction?
You need to stay calm.
Very professional. What else? Do you think of anything else?
Well, you need to try to work with them. I mean, to make the deal work.
Yeah. But the whole point in any kind of relationship is that you have to think of the other person as well as yourself. But in a contract situation, how's the best way to act? And that is what Belinda said. Be cool and professional and do your job, so that the contract, first of all, will go smoothly. But you have to think on purpose sometimes when you're dealing with other agents, because they're not always agreeable. Sometimes they just are downright.
Hey.
That's true.
Let's just
And they, but if we react different than they are acting, what happens? Sometimes they cool down. And sometimes you just slam the phone down and don't talk to them anymore. I'm serious. just say, you know, I don't like the way things are going on this conversation. I'm just going to hang up and maybe we can talk about this tomorrow. Is that reasonable?
Mhm. Sometimes people just need to cool off.
That's right. Exactly. Very good. So, how do I, when I'm in a contract, how do I represent Keller Williams to that other agent? Professionally, cool and rational. And I think because of our training, we have just an edge on other agents in the fact that we know a little bit more maybe about how things work. When the deal is done, would that agent want to be in your business at Keller Williams? What do you think? Just to think of some deals you've had recently. Did you and that agent get along well enough that they would see themselves in Keller Williams? Maybe. Okay. Would you want them at Keller Williams? That's another thing. Would you want them at Keller Williams? Okay, let's talk about how we relate. What our job is to get to know agents and inspire their interest. You have to think on purpose on that. That profit share could be a life-changing result for them and their family. So when you're talking to an agent about profit, you can't talk about profit sharing. You have to talk about profit sharing. But there's two things going to happen in profit sharing. It's going to affect your life in a positive way, and when you bring someone in, it's going to affect their life in a positive way. Somehow, some people don't understand profit sharing outside the company, of course. So let's focus on your first level. Look at page 2, well, page 1, first of all. I wanted to, it's page 31 that you're looking at. Who to talk to, what to say, and how to follow up. And these are 4 different blocks of who you can talk to. People who are actively in the business, the ones that are curious, the ones related in other industries and potentials. So when you go out, how can you find people? Where are people?
Everywhere.
Everywhere you go. How many go to the chamber events? Are there people there that you talk to? What's the possibility of putting them on your list? At some point in time, there may come a time you want to call them. And then on this picture, that's page 17, is the second page. Have you all put your 5 names in there yet from last week? Okay, I'm going to give you a minute. Write down 5 names that you think that you could refer to Jennifer, real quick. People that you have met in any either agents or people that you know or people you could say.
We have a real opportunity with the real estate still coming too. You know, if there's somebody that you just think that they're in sales of some sort, or that you met at the bank, and they're just, you know, they're sharp, or you know, you think, hey, I mean, I'm telling you, my son's daycare teacher, I think she would be an amazing real estate agent, and I told her that. But I told her she couldn't do it until he went to the next class. but then I thought it would be a really great opportunity for her. You know, she's just gone through a divorce not too long ago, and she's trying to figure out what she wants to do. And I told her, I said, you know, have you thought about real estate school? I mean, you come into contact with people all the time. It doesn't just have to be somebody who's already in real estate. We have an amazing opportunity with the school that's going to be here.
And one step further than what she said is talking about is you can say to somebody you meet at the chamber or any other event and you get in conversation with them, then who do you know that might be interested in real estate? Because we, in our company, we're going to furnish training for our new agents. So there's lots of ways to get names on your list. So who's got 5 names on the list? even if you don't have 5, be thinking on this, really, seriously. Be thinking on getting that filled out next week, because we're gonna talk some more about, not related, but we're gonna move on to the next. We have to refer people. If our business is gonna grow, we have to refer people. There are 2 top team leaders that I know of that are in big offices. Well, guess how they got to be big offices? Well, how did they do that? They were referred people to their team leader. The team leader, it's a hard job. And you try to call people cold. I've done it, so I know.
It's hard.
It's very
I
hard.
talked about this yesterday in our book club.
Good. Well, why can't we just set a goal to start referring? At least, if everybody would consider trying to refer 1 a month. Look what it would do for our company, what it would do for you, and what it would do for the person you're referring. But this is just the way it should be.
And I'll be honest with you, my goal is not to build my downline. My goal is to build your downline. I mean, I stand to benefit from it as well, but I benefit from it if you build your downline, just like if my goal, if you bring me somebody, I'm not trying to put them into my downline. That's not my goal. My ultimate goal is to continue to say, well, Belinda brought you here. This was a great, I'm so glad Belinda brought you to me. Thank goodness that Belinda brought us together. Thank goodness, and just so you know, that's not, my goal is not to build my downline. My goal is to build your downlines. So, if you bring them to me, I'm not setting out to build this for myself. I want to help you guys build yours, and I can definitely get them going in the right direction. But those warm leads are so helpful. It really, if people kind of are expecting a call, or they kind of feel like you might, if you say, hey, I'm gonna have my team leader contact you, and some of them might say no, and if they do, that's okay. We give a little bit of time, and then we call them after they do another transaction. But, sometimes a little bit of a warm handoff is just really helpful. If you have to talk to somebody who's having a really, who's not super happy where they are, talk us up. There's a ton of brokers open houses this month. There's a bunch of them. There's like 1 this week, 3 next week, and 3 the next week. So make a good show, and I'd love for some of us to caravan and go together and just kind of be out there in the faces and showing some camaraderie and showing just kind of how much we do love it here and talking up the new office and the things that we have. So anyway, sorry, that was just my 2 cents.
Also, the school, you can talk, when you go to the brokers, you can talk about in the school right here at home, and it's less expensive, I think.
It is.
So anyway, there's lots of ways you can do it. So would it be unreasonable to set your mind on at least 1 referral a month to her? Whether they are going to do it or don't do it, it's not up to you. It's up to Jennifer and the person that you refer. So, what's it hurt? Nothing. So we need to be doing more of that. And there's the scripts are right here on page 37 and 39. They're attached, and you can work on that. So, any questions about anything? Can we do 1 month, you think?
Sure.
When you think about it, we know a lot of people that are in sales that we don't know about. They want to switch, and it wouldn't hurt them to let us know that we're not just in real estate. We're in, we just don't market or sell homes. We are a business entity in itself that can't hurt.
That's right. Alan and I went to buy the refrigerator at Best Buy, and the guy started talking to us about real estate. So he's in my pipeline now. I'm hoping that he's going to sign up for real estate school. So,
absolutely.
It's something, you just never know when somebody's going to say, I've always wanted to do that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Listen for those things. I was in the salon the other day, and I heard somebody saying, I've just always been so interested in real estate. I got up out of the chair, full in my hair, and walked right over and handed her my card. said, call me. We've got a real estate school that's coming in right at our new location. So, I mean, and just keep your ears perked too. So.
All right, anybody want to share anything? Any experiences you've had lately with other agents? So, do we all have a goal that we might be interested in at least one referral a month?
Sure, I'm interested.
Nancy gave me a referral just recently. So Tammy's brought me a bunch recently. I've had a lot of people. Bowen sent me some. I've had a lot of people that are actually doing it, and for that I can't thank y'all enough. It really does mean a lot that people are bringing people to me. Even brand new, it doesn't matter. Haven't been to real estate school yet, that's okay. These are whatever we can do to get more people. We need to grow, and our growth is going to be what makes those profit share checks get better, better, and better. Mm-hmm. So we just want to become more and more and more profitable.
And it's all up to us that are already here to help her talk to people. It sounds like you are getting some referrals, mm-hmm. which is excellent.
I am, and that's what honestly I can't thank y'all enough for it.
All right,
thank you, Helen. All right, this was just an interview on the Today Show, and it's a book. I have not read this book, but I think I'm gonna. As I watched this interview the other day, I thought this was a pretty cool. The book sounds really cool, so I think it might be my next little read. But it's just it kind of goes back to the bold ball, and I put the bold ball up there, which focus on expands. And I think that's definitely one of the truths that we found is, if you focus on negative things, you're going to have a negative life. If you focus on the positive, you're going to have a positive life. If you focus on the things that, kick you right out of your comfort zone, you're going to grow. So we'll watch this real quick, and then I think maybe.
Coming up next, the man who says he holds the key to finding everything you want out of life. Coming up right after the break. Imagine getting all you've ever wanted just by thinking a certain way. Well, the power of your thoughts can improve your life. Even science says there's something to that. America's famed creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul, Jack Canfield, is here to tell us how to use the power of your imagination and your mind to get what you want in life. Jack's new book is titled Key to Living the Law of Attraction. Jack, welcome.
My pleasure.
Okay, is this true? Can I really just think about, in a positive way, things I want in life, and they will happen for me? Is that how it works?
Yeah, the law of attraction basically says what you think about, focus on, attend to, what you watch on TV, the books you read, the newspaper stories, etc. You are going to create a vibrational feeling response to that. And that sends out a wave, just like your cell phone sends out a wave. And everything in the universe that is harmonic to that will start to vibrate and be attracted toward you. It's as if you create a magnetic field with your thoughts. So we have to be very intentional and deliberate about what we think, and most of us were never taught to do that.
So you think there's something really tangible there? It's not just kind of shrink focus sort of stuff.
No, there's actually science that backs it up. I mean, we now know from quantum physics that everything that we perceive is actually a thought that creates and brings it into being. The screen behind us was first a thought.
Yeah.
Your hairdresser had a thought about how your hair might be styled before they styled it that way.
Right.
So everything is starting in thought. And we know that these thoughts can travel as far as around the Earth, done by some projects that were done in Japan, where a guy literally changed the molecule structure of water simply with 10,000 people focusing on that.
Jack, don't you think a lot of people just sort of hurt themselves because they're just afraid? I mean, they're afraid of taking risks. And I remember seeing that bumper sticker. It says something like, what would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? I mean, we stop ourselves from moving forward, don't we?
Absolutely. Fear is taking your mind and creating a negative image of the future. When you're worrying, you're imagining what's bad that's going to happen. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to miss the airplane. They'll lose my luggage.
Okay, well, let's get positive, because your book's about being positive,
Yes.
taking good thoughts. How do we take that negative voice that sometimes is screaming and squish it down, and how do we focus on those positive
Well, you
thoughts?
get rid of anything by replacing it with something else.
Okay.
In nature, abhors a vacuum. If you just stop the negative thought, it will get sucked back in. So you have to replace it with a positive thought. So when you find yourself feeling bad, for example, we're coming into Valentine's Day.
Right.
Let's say your husband forgets to get you a Valentine's Day
Yeah,
present.
what do you do?
You could think, oh, my husband doesn't love me. He forgot to give me a Valentine's Day
What
present.
should we think?
Someone who loves me forgot it was Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Notice how that shifts it?
I also love how your book, it's a great book, by the way, but I like how it's peppered with quotes from different people. We read this Tina Turner one earlier, but I loved it. It says sometimes you got to let go of things, purge yourself. If you're unhappy with anything, whatever is bringing you down, just get rid of it, because you'll find that when you're free, your true creativity, your true self comes out. That's a quote from Tina Turner. It's about purging, right, and getting rid of the bad stuff.
Yeah, we have to empty it out. It's like if you have too many clothes in your closet,
Yeah.
there's no room for new clothes.
Mhm.
So just like with negative thoughts, we really should be doing a thought inventory on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And every time we're not feeling good, say, what am I thinking? And then say, what do I want to have? See, most people are talking about what happened and how bad it is. Instead of what you want to be talking about is how good it's going to get. Focus all your energy on your dreams, your vision, what you want to have happen.
Let's talk about goals. It's important, you say, to set goals. Should you write them down, and what kind of things should they be?
Well, in my book, The Key to Living Law of Attraction, we have a place to write 101 goals that you want to achieve in your life. And I did that when I was 47. I'm 63 now. And
Okay.
when I was 47, I wrote 137 goals, and I've achieved over 68 of those. 169, which was over 68.
Okay.
And I just got one last week. But the point is that if you have that list, your unconscious starts to work on how to figure it out.
Mhm.
Lou Holtz, the famous coach of Notre Dame, he's now at the SDX. Yeah. When he was 29, he made a list of 101 goals he wanted to achieve, and now he's achieved all but 6 of those.
Oh, wow.
See, if you have that, every year you pick 4 or 5, focus on it, visualize it, and then it comes to being.
And this Oprah quote really struck me. It says, your true passion should feel like breathing. It is that natural. So you've got to find the thing that you're meant to do, aren't you?
Yes, we each have an inborn unique ability. We have a passion. We have a talent. And you know you're on it when you're happy. See, if you're feeling joy when you're doing what you're doing, then you're on track. If you're not feeling joy, it means you're off track. We're getting feedback all the time.
Now, your book is filled with, it's sort of interactive. You can write things in the book, which I like, your books and things. But you also say to create a vision board. What's a vision board?
Well, if we look right here, we see a vision board, and we call this a vision book because you can actually close it up like this. Isn't that beautiful?
Gorgeous.
And it becomes a family heirloom. What's on here? All these are pictures of things that this person who made this vision board, Dee Dee Watkins, wants in her life. Happy family, better relationship with the kids and their pets, their ideal dream home, vacations, and so forth. There's also words like peace and love and prosperity. And this kit comes with all the words already cut out. So most people's vision boards look like ransom notes. You know, they've cut them out of magazines. So what we have here is something that's really beautiful. And people can go to dreambigcollection.com and they can find out about how to get one of these.
Jack, I have a feeling you got another winner on your hands with this one, The Key to Living the Law of Attraction. Jack Canfield, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Good luck.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And you can read an excerpt from this book on todayshow.com, of course. And we'll be back with more. But first, this is Today on NBC.
All right.
Quick announcements. Remember, I need privilege license from everybody. And I've noticed on a lot of websites that your addresses are still 3851 Dunhaven, so you guys need to change those. And the other day, Shelby had someone drop by a earnest money check, and they took it to the old building. So just make sure with your dealings that you're at, the other side of your transaction knows we're not over at that location anymore. I mean, it'd probably be a good idea to send out address changes to the other firms in the area and the attorneys.
EH didn't update them, we would have to go to
Yeah,
EH.
you have to go into it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking.
we've changed it on the Market Center website, but I've noticed a lot of agents, even on your e-agency websites too.
Yeah. And you do want it, like, yeah.
Okay.
The main thing that's confusing them are the letters on the old building. Still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, at least it's advertising for us. If anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know Judy has been working on Dot Loop.
She's on fire.
She's a little frustrated, I think, as she's been going through. So please, I know it was a long email that she sent out, but it's really important stuff. So if you guys could please go through what you have in there and clean it up a little bit, because she's having to literally go through like each individual one, and it just stinks for her. So if y'all can go in and kind of clean it up on the front end, then there won't be as much for her to do on the back end. So, and she's going to be trying to help, things that she sees that are a mess or that are, where there are issues, she's going to be trying to call people in individually and help them make sure that everything is done correctly. So just so you know, I know, like I said, I know it was a long email, but it was all really important information. And just like I said, she's having to go through and do it. And anything we can do to help her is going to take a little bit of that off her shoulders because it's a lot. The sheer number in there is pretty intense. So, anything we can do, like I said, to make that easier for her would be awesome. So, if it's yours, just get in there and try to clean it up if you can. All right?
All right, and this is very novel for copy for you guys to run some donuts.
Oh, thank you. And I think that's it. All right.
Thanks for keeping our copy running.
You're getting skinny if you make that.